People getting arrested for things that they should definitely be arrested for. We got it. People getting arrested for things that they should probably, there shouldn't even have been like a squad car involved at all. We got that too. My Strange Arrest, my new favorite series. Dial in because I'm starting with the biggest story in this episode. We got a 2-for-1 special involving 60-year-old Mary and 84-year-old Beverly, Mary's mom. Mary's parked on the grass and cops come out to talk to her. They had gotten calls that there was a woman out there that was drowning kids.
Teetering on going to jail for feeding cats.
Well, sorry, I read that wrong. Feeding cats. And Mary had 1, 2, 3 squad cars behind her because she was armed with friskies, the kibble bandit. So she's actually trying to trap cats. You see, there's a growing feral cat population in this place in Alabama. I'm not acknowledging the name of a city. That sounds like a mystery box gun. So it sounded dark at first, but actually, Mary's trapping cats, feeding them, neutering them, and then finding them homes. She does this with her mom in her spare time, I guess. And Mary's friendly, but obviously a little taken aback by the battalion behind her. So the cop lets her know, we're trespassing you. This is city property, and they don't want people feeding the cats. So you have to leave, or you will go to jail. Jail. For feeding a turtle. Sorry, wrong story. But she has similar reactions. Disbelief. Really? I'm just feeding cats. And if anything, I'm helping the city control the feral cat population. Otherwise, the streets would be overrun with pussy. Wild pussy at that. And nobody wants that. Except maybe this guy watching, this fucking freak. So they tell her she has to leave, and then they leave. Meanwhile, Beverly, Mary's mom, was en route to make sure she was okay. And she pulls up, and then the cops return after a little bit. And Mary's still there, trespassing, so they threaten her with jail again. Then they ask Beverly for her ID. See that Beverly has already been trespassed in a nearby area, so they trespass Beverly and decide to book her, which is wild. I think the homies were just having a bad day, but you know, the two ladies didn't look like they were planning on leaving anytime soon either. But also, why did the cops leave to begin with? If I was being trespassed in a Walmart by police, they're not just gonna tell me that while I'm in aisle 9 and then walk away, fist bumping each other like, you did a good job back there. They're gonna make sure my ass is off the property and then some. So anyway, Beverly's angry because she's being arrested. So she's kind of ignoring the cops as she goes to give Mary her car keys. And that's when a cop gets in her face and she picks up her next charge.
Hey, it's gonna get ugly if you don't stop.
She's got a bomb! Put the house keys down!
Look at Beverly. Is it possible to charge her with mugshot with intent to be adorable? Can I hang this picture up? Is that weird? Is it? You all fucking hang up Elvis and Pablo. What's the difference here? I'm doing it, fuck you. Now don't worry, they didn't have the gall to actually charge this 84-year-old woman with assaulting an officer, but they did deal her criminal trespassing and disorderly conduct. And also arrested her daughter for just still being there, criminal trespassing, and obstructing governmental operations. Okay, buddy. Is that the equivalent of me giving a homeless dude $5 when there's a sign that says, say no to panhandling? Which does exist, by the way, if you didn't know that. Hey, don't give them money. That means they're gonna stay here. As opposed to where else? They sentenced them to 10 days in jail and 2 years probation. And this isn't mentioned in the show for whatever reason, but this case got a lot of attention. So much so that they were coined the Cat Ladies of Wetumpka. I'm pissed I said it. Apparently their attorneys worked for free, and they wanted to not only appeal the case where they would be entitled to a jury trial, but also pursue a civil lawsuit against the city. They set up a GoFundMe for a defense fund and raised $90,000. That's a pricey pussy. But as of now, the charges were dropped and they are no longer prosecuting those women. I wonder why. Next arrest. Or criminal. Criminally good offer.
Cold turkey may taste great, but it's a tall task. Got bad habits, my bad habits don't gotta be all bad. Sponsored by Fume, award-winning device. No vapors, flavored air, new vice, new life. Completely natural, nice. No harmful chemicals, right? Flavor cranberry, that's white. I'm using it while I write tunes. Looking fancy, what I might do. You can head to tryfume.com/MrGG. 20% off site-wide, please believe me. Scan a QR code, you can use my code. Mista Gigi 20% off until December 1st and 10% off after. You can upgrade your journey pack to the Solano to enjoy the premium walnut barrel and onyx black coated mouthpiece that has a smoother finish and still get the discount. Over 150K customers served, thousands of success stories. Why can't it be you? Try fum.com/MistaGigi, code MistaGigi, link below, and thank you Fume for sponsoring this video.
We got a bunch of quickies this episode, so we gotta move. Let's start with Timothy. A 24-year-old doing a prank or dare, wants to bet, I don't know. He's streaking through Walmart in a Halloween mask, pours milk on himself, white and chocolate, at least we know he's not racist, and he runs around the store yelling, "I'm on fire!" Which is, of course, hilarious. This is like Joey Salads if you didn't eat salads. Sorry, low-hanging fruit, which he doesn't eat either. I'm sorry. I don't really give a shit about this one. I have nothing productive to say. Couldn't be me. So he runs around a bit and then hops in a getaway car, leaving his cameraman, by the way. They're all in on it, but they dip without it. And then his cameraman's out of breath, just jogging in the alleyway at the scene of the crime. Any article I read about this said the video was uploaded to YouTube, racking up hundreds of views before it was taken down. Hundreds? Someone get the president on the line. Like, look at the B-roll they show in this part. Like, he was gonna get on a fucking interview with Ellen. I mean, just in general, the term viral is thrown around so loosely in media. Search viral in the news section right now, and you'll read an article that sources a tweet with like 140 likes. It's very funny. Timothy was charged with all of this, but his sentence was diverted for 6 months under the condition he didn't do anything else, which is a thing I learned exists. Next arrest. And our first Florida hit. Wow. Look at you guys behaving. Cops were called because there was a young gentleman blocking traffic. Climate change, fossil fuels, he was eating pancakes. Wow, quote unquote, bystander was Law X Dean recording him do it. And then bystander says,
"Hey, better not hit my dog either."
Which I agree. I don't want to see this 21-year-old kid get bulldozed. But if he did, I mean, like, listen, if I'm stood there blocking traffic, aggravating drivers just trying to go about their day, it would be crazy of someone to run me over for that. But it's not necessarily a crazy outcome when you do the math. You're doing this for a reaction. You just gotta hope one of them isn't coming from a crazy motherfucker who just so happens to have 3,000 pounds of steel at his disposal. I don't even get the joke. Oh, this is out of the ordinary. So is the truck that'll turn your breakfast into a grand slam at the intersection. Stop doing this shit, guys. He was charged with these made-up laws. Next arrest. This one's actually fucked up. All seems peaceful in this light rail car in Arizona. It's the day after Thanksgiving. Everyone's still full, looking forward to some leftovers, and Austin here decides that this woman in a wheelchair has just had it too easy. So he proceeds to shove her out of the wheelchair and start running off with it. Sorry, I need this, the storm's closing. I wanted to make a Fortnite joke really bad. So that's gonna be the one. Luckily, some good Samaritans step in. Looks like mainly one guy either clocked him or shoved him, which made Austin immediately abandon his precious cargo and just mildly jog off. The narrator then says he fled on foot. And then it zooms into his legs for an oddly long 2 seconds. Like, okay, I get it, his work. But the reason they actually do this is because, ironically, he ended up being identified by his footwear because he had on reindeer slippers. My guy had Dasher and Donner in cahoots. The woman's okay, the wheelchair's fine, he pled guilty to robbery and got 2 years in prison. Next arrest. Porsche here wanted 2 late-night chicken sandwiches from an undisclosed fast food restaurant, and we get a whopper of a tail. Her and her fiance, who don't eat red meat, ordered some food, and turns out they were given the wrong order. Egad, say it isn't so, Gigi. The failing fast food restaurant that we're all surprised is still open did something wrong? She's obviously upset, calls the manager, she wants a refund. They tell her, hey, we're closing up, come in tomorrow, and we'll take care of you. Cool, no issue. So she comes in tomorrow. Their manager has no clue what the hell she's talking about, but she offers her some free breakfast sandwiches anyway, which she accepts, and then they leave. But it turns out, and this is where it gets real believable of this specific restaurant chain, they messed up the order again, and the sandwiches they got have pork sausage in them. So, according to Porsche, they come back to the store a little hot, but she doesn't really turn it up until the manager starts calling 911. Because why the hell are you getting cops involved? She claims, Porsche, that she just still wanted a refund. That was the issue. But according to the other side, they called 911 because Porsche became physical. And there's no audio on the tape, so we can't tell what the exchange necessarily was. But we very obviously see Porsche throw a dot to the fucking end zone here. She tries jumping the counter twice, but her fiance is trying to hold her back the entire time. I thought she was just messing with everything at first like an angry toddler, but she was just trying to find something to throw. And I couldn't tell what this was at first, until my fat ass deduced everything that might be on the counter. It's a cookie display case. It has to be, because those are usually around that size and I could probably pick them up. Also, she grabs a wet floor sign and she javelins it to the counter. Also, I don't know why My Strange Arrest just doesn't show or talk about all the footage they have available. This is just one example, but they've done this before already, because what My Strange Arrest doesn't show, she also reaches into her bag, grabbing her sandwiches and beams them at the worker. And also, when I got a non-cropped view of the incident, it definitely is a cookie display case. Thank you for validating me, I appreciate that. Also, after I read up on this a bit more, apparently 2 weeks later, Porsche would be involved in an altercation with staff at a Cricket Wireless and be placed in cuffs. So, I'm not gonna say I don't believe her side of the story. What I am gonna say is, I mean, how many chipper faces do you see walking into a Cricket Wireless as is? Let alone a Burger King. We haven't had it our way since 2004. She was sentenced to 20 days in jail. Next arrest. So I've actually seen this next clip and I love shit like this. You see, when there are no more stolen valor videos to binge, you go to the next best thing. Impersonating a police officer. The cops pull up on Manuel Nava, and after some professional observation and just, not blinking, they figured something was up with this fella because he's driving a makeshift DeLorean. He's got a computer on the center console, a light bar, a searchlight. Just look at the front of the car. His excuse for his car looking the way it does?
Is this like some type of old police car or?
No, I work at the National Weather Service.
Oh yeah? When's it gonna rain next? Dick. Listen, I don't know what in-the-field weather experts are supposed to drive. He's driving a Jetta, which isn't a bad car in bad weather, but all these modifications certainly don't fit the vibe. I would just envision like a band. That's just me. So they search the car, and he's got a duty belt, 2 vests, handcuffs, tactical backpacks, a pepper spray gun that looks like a regular gun when it's holstered, a sticker on the back that says Police Interceptor. He's also got patches from the Lincoln County Emergency Response Team, an Animal Control Officer patch, and apparently he knows the humidity on Tuesday. A jack of all trades. This guy definitely has entrepreneur in his bio. Oh wait, he actually doesn't. I think I found his Twitter. And what it actually says, not joking, it says, I love dressing up from different time periods. Nice. I like dressing up like blacksmiths from 1835 and cops from 2022. I'm quirky like that. So he wasn't able to provide any credentials that he was with law enforcement. Oklahoma News reached out to the National Weather Service and they have never heard of him. So that's right. The felony charge of impersonating a police officer was reduced to improper display of flashing red lights, which that charge was then dropped. Nothing happened. The Jetta jailer is still on the loose, performing drive-bys where he yells the dew point at unsuspecting victims. Visibility's low. All in a day's work. Next arrest. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. A young woman named Sam is detained and put in cuffs because somebody had apparently called in saying that she was wearing something that was inappropriate. What is she wearing, you may ask? Get this, a bikini at the beach. I mean, how much for the hour? Slut. It's really funny because the officers are very confident on this arrest. Sam and her husband, who's recording, do not understand what they're yapping about. So they pull up to the officer with the handbook, who's ready to shut them both down with the law. And shut him down he does.
Shall be unlawful for any person appearing in the nude on any public beach access to the public waters, or any public property in the view of the public.
I'm not
So
nude.
nobody's nude.
Damn, that's a counterpoint if I've ever seen one.
Okay, you're in a thumb.
Yeah, that's still not what he said. Also, what? I guess I missed the memo where all the spring breakers nowadays were wearing snow pants and mermaid tails. What are we doing here, Dick?
All right.
So they have nothing to say to that. And Officer Dingo over here just keeps flipping through his handbook like, it's here somewhere. 1 second. The supervisor then pulls up and he says, what she's wearing is not appropriate. They keep being pretty dickish, by the way, in this whole interaction. So the supervisor pulls up the city ordinance and he reads off the rules directly to Sam. So then Sam says, oh, okay. If that's the case, then you need to arrest half the beach because there's a lot of variably visible ass out here. That includes pussy. I mean, what is this, Watumka? And she's right. The supervisor is obviously not gonna do that, so they let her off with a warning after having her in cuffs for 10 minutes. Great job, fellas. I think they were just upset because your thong reminded them of all the wedgies they got when they were younger. And those are all of the arrests in episode 2 of My Strange Arrest. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more. Subscribe! Trying to hit 1 million in 2023, even though it's probably statistically impossible at this point, but the support has been fucking crazy regardless. You guys have been supporting all the videos. They've all been doing fucking phenomenal. It's great. It's doing so good. We're such a good fucking ending to 2023. I fucking love it. Patreon, patrons, they're fucking great. They're here. Oh wait, I forgot one of the bits. Oh no, no, I forgot one of the bits. No, no, I forgot one of the bits. Oh, I'm cringe. After the panhandling joke, I was gonna put this on the fucking wall. It says say no to panhandling sign. I paid $35 for this to have the gag, and I didn't do the gag. This is heavy. I can kill a man with this. What the f***? What was I saying? Patrons, love them. They're the best. I just did a Patreon exclusive. I don't remember what it is. It's on screen, sure. Visit@GG. The merch. Always coming out with the hottest, freshest merch, baby. Gamer subs, code Miss GG, 10% off. Delicious. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yummy. Popcorn so yummy. I don't know what the people say. Fucking, I'm mad about that. And as always, I am Mr. GG and I am out.